light snow, but it's kind of a sleety snow, as there is some warmer air aloft. But at the surface here, it's very cold. In fact, it's so cold that the snow is still like very dry and fluffy. And it's still mostly snow that's coming down with some very strong winds. And there's several bursts of these like snow showers coming down. Oh my god! Oh my god! Whoa! Whoa! Okay, and we're getting some really strong winds. Not associated with any of these bands because we're actually between some of these bands right now. It's just strong winds from the storm, from the pressure gradient. Pressure gradient is very strong right now because there's a very strong high pressure, about 1,036 millibars just to the north. Pressure actually here, believe it or not, considering how bad the weather is actually pretty high. We're in the 2990s right now, which is actually above normal for sea level pressure because the high pressure is so strong. But the center of circulation, the storm is around 2930, 2940. It's a very strong system that's coming through. That's why it's so windy right now. In fact, these are how blizzards usually develop. You get blizzards usually on the front end of systems because of these very tight pressure gradients. As of now, we have 6 inches of snow on the ground and still slightly accumulating, even though the radar is saying the sleet has already gone to the north of us, the correlation coefficient. Well, they're depicting that the sleet line, the upper level sleet line is to our north, but the lower level mixing line is still offshore, which means that as long as it stays offshore, we're going to get mostly snow mixing with some sleet. But as of now, it's mostly snow and a wind-driven one at that. These are how conditions are usually during nor'easters, or nor'eastas, as we say in New England. I'm going to share the stream right now. Alrighty, so I'm currently getting a light snow right now, temperature of about 27 degrees, roughly 28. Snow has tapered off to flurries as we're between several bands. There's a heavy one just to our south. I already thought we would have changed over to sleet by now, but apparently we have not. We're still getting snow. There might be some sleet from higher up. Like, it feels like there's sleet coming down, but when I'm looking up, I don't see any sleet. I'm seeing mostly snow coming down. As you can see, try to cut the glare out. It's still snow. Actually, there is a little sleet coming down, but it's mostly snow. It's kind of like a sleety snow because everything is coming down sideways. If it were rain, it would be coming down more almost straight down, considering the wind isn't that strong. But there is some sleet mixing in with this. But most of the snow that's coming down is from below the below the warm tongue, because it's still in the 20s, quite a bit up. In fact, it's actually cooling down as you go up in elevation, and then it warms up to about at around 750 to 700 millibars, and it cools down again above that. But most of your 100% humidity values are above or below the 700 millibars. Or, I mean, below that warm tongue. So you're going to get some snow from below the warm tongue and sleet from the warm tongue. You know, as the snow falls through the warm tongue, it melts into, or partially melts into like a wet snow or rain, and then refreezes into a sleet or a sleety type of snow. We have not fully changed over to sleet yet. We're still getting snow. Technically, we're still getting snow right now here in Regal Park. I just checked the radar. There's some heavier precip just to my south. Nothing too crazy, but we're getting some bursts of precip. So a changeover should begin fairly shortly. Hold on. Oh, we just had lightning. We just had lightning. I just saw lightning. Okay. Shh. I just saw a flash. Could have been a red light camera, but no, it wasn't. Yeah, I just saw a flash. Could not tell from where, but we just are changing over to sleet. And the thing that's coming in from the south looks pretty convective, so there could have just been some lightning. Yeah, we just are changing over to sleet right now. But it's mixing in with some snow from lower elevations. Well, basically what's going on is, even though you're having sleet because of the warm tongue aloft, you're having a very high humidity and very high elapse rates. Not in terms of going down, you're having a very sudden cool off as you're decreasing in elevation below the warm tongue. And with humidity is above 100% or at 100%, from below the warm tongue and at the warm tongue too, you're having sleet formation at the warm tongue, snow falling into the warm tongue, melting into rain, and then refreezing on its way down into sleet. But you're also having that thick warm tongue below, that thick layer of cold air from just below the warm tongue, which is causing some of the snow to fall. So you're still getting snow coming down with sleet. It's very light snow, but there is some snow coming down mixed with sleet. Gotta get this out of the road. Yeah, gotta get that out of the street. Oh, I'm just putting on my gloves, so hold on. So I saw the low pressure center. It has emerged off the Jersey shore just a little while ago. See, there's still icicles here. So it's still way below freezing, and those icicles are not melting at all. There we go. Alrighty. So we're getting temperatures in the upper 20s with sleet right now. We're not going to get rain, though. We're not going to get like freezing rain, but we're going to get sleet. That's why I didn't predict 8 to 12 inches. I predicted more like 6 to 10. And we already got 6 inches. So I think my 6 to 10 is right near the National Weather Service 8 to 12. And they did mention that southern Long Island was going to get about 4 to 8, which I agree with. Maybe a little less. But considering the storm is already off the Jersey shore, well, part of it is, and it's moving fairly slowly, I think we're going to get accumulating snows early in the morning again. As the low pulls away, you're going to get some more. There's another batch of heavy precipitation coming in from the west and southwest. And once that comes in, well, look at these strong winds. Those are like 25, 30 mile an hour winds coming in right now. The only reason they don't look strong is because of there's no leaves on the trees. See, now there's some snow mixing in again. Oh, look at all this ice. Ugh. Ugh, solid ice. Yeah, those are about 30 mile an hour, 30, 35 mile an hour gusts. We're getting heavy snow right now. We'll probably be having near blizzard conditions. So we're getting primarily sleet right now. Wind-driven sleet. Yep, the sleet fest has begun, guys. Yep, the HRRR was right. I said the sleet should begin last night around 9 or 10 p.m. But I thought it would begin a little earlier, though. But there's a chance that the cold solution could be winning out. Because while we're getting a flow right from the southwest, as that colder air comes in aloft, and if it stays cold here, we're going to transition back to snow. And I think that transition back to snow should either happen in a few hours, or will change to sleet as the low pressure pulls off to the southeast, and the 32-degree line, the worm tongue disappears. It'll disappear in one of two ways. Either the heavy precip will form its own cold air, or as the low pulls away, that'll also do it. Like what the NAM showed. So I'm going to go in about 20-30 minutes. We already have a little bit of a 6 inches. Change over to sleet just occurred about 10-15 minutes ago. At around 10 p.m. is when we changed over to sleet. Whoa! Okay, let's see here. Actually, there's a lot of drifting here. That's not a good place to measure snow. Yeah, it says 8 inches. Not accurate at all. That's actually the least accurate place to measure snow because of all the drifting. You want to go measure probably like in that area, in the grass. That's where you'll get a more accurate measurement. And because it's going to get so cold, because it's going to stay so cold throughout the storm, let's see. Steps are probably pretty good. Yeah, I was right about the sleet coming in, but we already got 6 inches on the ground, so that's good. And we're going to get more snow in the morning as the low wraps up. Let me try to get... Yeah, we have 6 inches here in Rego Park. Oh, look at the sparks. Yeah, he's sparking the ground. Okay, we're getting sleet now. Snowfall is around 6 inches right now. We already got 6 inches of snow. And we might get a little bit of sleet accumulation. Because sleet doesn't, lower how much accumulation you get. Like, it doesn't cause the snow to melt. So, let's see. Let's try to see here how much we got. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5 inches. So that's probably because of drifting. So let's see a different area. I have a good area where to measure snow. That's probably not very accurate. Because you see, having a lot of wind, so a lot of the snow here came down onto the ground here. So not very good for measuring snow. This is what the Kuchera actually factors in. The Euro said we were going to stay as mostly snow, but apparently I was right not to trust the Euro. I went with the NAM 3KM, which showed all sleet, changing over to snow in the morning a little bit. The NAM 3KM shows New York City getting about 7 or 8 inches. Also not a good place for measuring snow. Actually, look at that. We're still getting some snow coming down. Even though we're getting sleet, it is still mixing with snow. So right now I'm getting sleet mixing with snow still. There is still sleet coming down with the snow. It's not all sleet. If you look closely, you see all that like what looks like mist? That's actually all snow. It's like a misty snow coming down. And that's from the cold air at the lower elevations. Still with the high humidity. So you're basically getting light snow mixing with sleet from aloft. This is exactly what I said was going to happen from reading the soundings last night. The the NAM nailed it. It nailed exactly what is happening now. And I'm talking about the 3 km now. So that means parts of Pennsylvania, especially the highlands, could get over 3 feet of snow in some areas. And we're still getting some snow mixing with sleet. Even from aloft, not all the sleet particles have entirely melted. So you see, even though we're getting sleet, it's kind of a snowy sleet. It's not all sleet. Look closely. It looks like a sleet. Basically, what you got is a partially melted snowflake that didn't really turn into rain. It refroze on its way down. That's what basically happened. This is a good area to measure snow because you're sheltered from the wind here. Crap, 7 inches. We already got up over 7 inches of snow. That's another good area to measure snow. Okay, this one says 6. Yeah, about 6 to 7 inches, but that's too much like grass over there. I know another good area, and we're still kind of getting snow. See? Yep. We're still mixing again. Yep, we're still not getting all sleet. As you see, it's snowing again. It's probably going to do this. It's probably going to be sleet, snow, sleet, snow, sleet, snow like this. And then it will change right over back to all snow by morning. So because it's not all sleet and it's not going to be rain, you're not going to get any melting of the snow tonight. Which means exactly how much we get is exactly how much you'll see on the ground. It feels like hail from these bigger, like, melted sleet chunks. And basically, it's not all, see? Look what's coming down. It's a sleety snow that's coming down. The reason this is happening, why it's going back from sleet, is because we had that heavy precip. And the cold air is still fighting. As the low tightens up and the pressures drop, what you're getting dynamic cooling because of the pressures that are falling. So, and you're still getting all this dry and cold air that is trying to go into the storm. That's not. So even though we're having this low level jet that's bringing in this warm air, the storm is also producing its own cold air. The low pressure system that's forming just south of us is producing its own cold air. The NAM was showing cold air around the 850 millibar level. So you see this right here, right? All ice. Oh man. They gated off that whole area. It used to be open, like you could walk into that yard. This is my building here. Yep. And you see we're still getting snow. If you look closely. I used to be able to walk through here. Oh man. looks like I'll measure from here then. Yeah, about 6 inches. We're still getting a little bit of snow coming down. You see that? Okay, the sleet has stopped now, and we're kind of changing back to snow. Yeah, we got about 6.5 inches. But the snow has mainly changed over to sleet already. Temperatures are still in the 20s. Otherwise, the composition of the snow would have became like harder if it was like in the 30s, but that composition is still very light and fluffy. So that means, oh my God, shoot, I slipped. Oh, damn, I slipped on that. Slipped on basically on this thing right here. This is a hazard, look at this. I slipped on this piece of cardboard that was buried by the snow. The changeover to plain rain will not occur in New York City, as there's just too much cold air situated over the area. I mean, we might get into the low 30s, perhaps, because a lot of the models did depict that. Six inches. Yep, on a flat surface. I'll be going in about a few minutes. I'm just gonna check the radar again. So it's still snowing outside a little bit. So we're currently getting light snow mixed with sleet. As I said, snow from lower elevations. So you see the snow that's coming down right now? That's from lower elevation. That's a very light snow mixed with sleet from aloft. In fact, if you listen, you could hear it hitting my jacket a little. Temperatures in Manhattan around 26 degrees. Temperatures here in Queens are around like 27, 28, maybe up to 29. You can see it's all solid ice. Which means that temperatures are not warming up at all. Okay, I just checked the radar, and there is very heavy precipitation that's just to my south that is coming in right now. It's literally going to be here within maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and it's moderate to heavy precip. So let me check my battery percentage. All right, I know about 36%. I mean, this has a lot to do with the cold weather. It's probably around 50 or 60, but because of the cold weather, it's lower percentage. And you see, in the snow, everything is solid ice. basically. We didn't get any rain. It was all snow from the very beginning. It started out as light snow around 3 this afternoon. Just around 2:45 it started flurrying. By 3:30 it was light moderate snow. We had about an inch by about 5 p.m. And then really heavy snow started coming in between like 6 and like 9 p.m. That's when we got most of our accumulation. And so we've mostly changed over to sleet with snow from the cold layer below the warm tongue. And the tree that used to be here was down by Hurricane Isaias. A tree that was literally right in front of this building. If I remember, the tree that was down by Isaias was right in front of my window there. So, man, everything is ice. It's all ice. Yep. Tree was probably right here. In fact, they replanted some of the sidewalk. Because it was in front of this building. It was not right in front of this door. But it was like off to the side a little bit. So if this is my building, the tree that was down by Isaias was most likely, it was before this hydrant, so it was literally right where I'm standing. It was literally right here. This is where it happened, because when Hurricane Isaias happened, this was the site. It was actually in front of this here. It was actually right here. This is where the tree went down, and they already repaved everything. During Hurricane Isaias, there was a tree that fell down on top of a car. If you go back to some of my live streams, you'll see the Honda Civic that was crushed. The roof was absolutely crushed. I mean, the car still had a working engine, so the car was definitely salvageable. I mean, but the repairs of the roof would have cost hundreds, if not would have cost thousands of dollars. And probably the car, you could just say it's totaled. I mean, everything else still works. The suspension, all the engine components were still working fine. So most likely that would have been salvaged and probably put into another working car. Or it may have just all been sold for scrap. You never know. People still have uses for those engines, especially if they're in good working order. So there's very heavy precip coming in from the south right now, and already it's starting to sleet. And when I mean heavy precip. Like, I mean, a lot of that could be bright banding, but the radar showed this precip was to be pretty heavy. And temperatures are still in the 20s, though. I just can feel how cold they are. I mean, and we're still getting a northeast wind, which is preventing a lot of the sleet from like being fully sleet, because even the warm tongue is probably not that thick. And we're still getting snow, as you can clearly see. So we're getting sleet and snow still. So we're getting a mixture of snow and sleet. So the sleet, as I said, is coming in from higher up, from where the warm tongue is, while lower down you're getting mixing. And I just saw some lightning, or that could also be train. You know, there's a Long Island Railroad right over there, so that could be sparks from the third rail. Sorry. I saw some flashes over there. And I saw some flashes earlier, so that there's definitely convection on radar. So, well, it looks like convection, because there's a lot of streaming coming in from the south. So there could be some thunderstorms aloft. So I'm going to check the lightning maps just to make sure what I'm seeing is lightning or not. Okay, just confirm there's no lightning. And just to confirm, there is no lightning at all in the area. None. There's literally no lightning in at least 500 miles from this location. Even in New Jersey, there's no lightning where I saw that heavy precip on radar. And there's not even thunder snow. There probably will be a few isolated reports. And we're still getting sleet coming in with snow. You see that like stuff that's floating? That's snow from lower elevation, from the below the warm tongue. Because you're definitely not going to get snow forming in temperatures above 30 degrees. Once you lose a snowflake, once passing through that warmer air loft, you're not going to get it back. So the snow you're getting is probably from 6,000 feet to about 8,000 feet, or probably down from whatever the base of the cloud is, through about maybe the just below the warm tongue, probably 8,000 feet, or maybe even below that, maybe from the base of the cloud to maybe 4,000 feet above ground level. And it's definitely a stratiform cloud. So it's not uncommon to get snow enhancement from moisture at lower levels, especially if you have very high humidity throughout the entire cloud. You could get snow in the snow growth zone, or the DGZ, the dendritic growth zone, which is usually around 10,000 feet. And if you're getting winds off the water, you could also get enhancement from that. And since we're getting a lot of moisture coming into this very cold environment that's basically from ground level all the way up to about 7,000 feet, that is all below freezing with 100% humidity values, and there's a lot of clouds, low clouds now. So these low clouds are producing snow. And we're getting some very heavy sleet coming in. Yeah, we're having heavy sleet right now mixing with snow. You could actually hear it coming down. I mean, the snow, oh, you saw that, right? You saw that. We just had lightning. That was lightning. Hold on. Shh, listen. I knew there's going to be some lightning with this activity. It's probably all intracloud, though. Nope, that was lightning. I don't hear thunder, but that was definitely lightning. And you see that how heavy the sleet's coming down, and the fact, and there was reds on radar. Yeah, that definitely was lightning. And the fact you're having these huge temperature contrasts, like whoop, that's going to generate a lot of lightning, especially from above the warm tongue. There's also another huge decrease in temps. So we're definitely getting convective activity coming in. Let me check we just had lightning. Didn't hear any thunder, but we just had lightning with basically heavy sleet mixing with snow. Snow's from the lower levels, from below the warm tongue. There's more like a lot of moisture. But the lightning activity is probably from the higher ups, from where you're having that warm tongue. There's a lot of convection there. Let me check the... It's like hail coming down, guys. It's like freaking hail. And yeah, I just saw lightning. Yeah, there was lightning, all right, but it didn't show on the site because it was intracloud lightning. Intracloud lightning doesn't usually show on the lightning maps. You only get cloud-to-ground lightning that shows up. And so far, we have not had any cloud-to-ground lightning. Any lightning that we've had has been intracloud. And there is still a very heavy precip that's coming in, all sleet. And we're still getting snow coming down with the sleet. Yes, the lightning detection apps have not shown any lightning, but we've had some lightning from aloft. We're getting heavy sleet right now. And we're still getting it coming down with snow, but like when it stops sleeting, when you have nothing on radar, there's still like light snow coming down from below the worm tongue. And once the worm tongue gets out of here, everything's going to transition back to snow. Basically, if there was no worm tongue right now, you'll probably just be getting regular snow, like light, moderate snow. But this worm tongue is also adding a lot of instability, and it's intensifying the precipitation. Wow, we're getting some really heavy sleet coming down right now. I mean, there definitely is snow above this worm tongue. And that's probably where the lightning is being generated, because you're getting a lot of temperature contrast, because you're getting this 500 millibar low-level jet coming in. And if you look closely in the car, there is no liquid. It's all ice. It's all sleet mixing with snow. There's still snow coming down, considering how hazy it looks a little bit. Temperature is definitely still in the upper 20s, and I'm still really cold. I have not noticed the temperature has increased. Maybe it's around 30, because the wind is making me feel a lot colder. And they said that the temperature tonight was not going to get much warmer. It's going to get really cold tonight. And Central Park got down to about 24. Honestly, I think the warmest we're going to get tonight is probably 32, 31 degrees. And as the low starts intensifying, as it gets off the Delmarva, you're going to get your more cold air to work in, and that's going to change everything back to snow. And the forecast was for AM snow. And the high tomorrow is only going to be 31 degrees. Oh, sleet fest. Yep, this is why I go with the high-res models. Because the high-res models do very well with forecasting precip types and lower dynamics. Believe it or not, the heaviest part of the precip is actually still to my south. And we still have poor visibilities, which is indicative of still a lot of snow coming down, like fine snow, as you can see here. We're still getting a lot of fine snow. Because the sleet is kind of moistening up the atmosphere, which is leading to more snow. And I'm looking at my jacket. Hold on. Just look at my jacket. If you look really closely, hold on. If you look really closely on my jacket, you see like little particles of snow. So we're still getting this like fine misty snow with sleet. And this fine misty snow that's kind of making everything hazy is because of, you know how you get mist? You get like light drizzle. This is basically a drizzly snow because you're getting very high humidity values and very cold lower levels. And this is creating this misty snow. But then you have a worm tongue that is coming in aloft, which is basically causing the snow that falls into that worm tongue to melt into rain, and that not in a shallow cold layer, but in a pretty deep cold layer under that worm tongue, refreezing the rain back into sleet. But in a thick cold layer under the worm tongue, you're getting another but small area of precip formation, which is creating this fine misty snow. If you look here, you'll see it coming down. Kind of looks like diamond dust, but it's actually light snow. So currently we're getting light snow and sleet. Getting light snow and sleet. Yeah, light snow and sleet, basically. That's what we're getting right now. And this is what it's primarily going to do. That is why the sleet is not going to completely cut down on any snow accumulation, because you're still getting this very light snow that's probably accumulating at a rate of maybe tenth of an inch of an hour, maybe not even. It's accumulating at a very, very slow rate, this fine snow. I think it's time I be going in now. So I'll be streaming again later, maybe by daybreak as that second band of precip comes in. I'm just going to call the National Weather Service to tell them that that they're, that I got about 6.5 inches of total so far. You know what? Nah. I already told them 6 inches, and since I made that report, no new accumulation has occurred. But we did get some lightning, which is kind of cool. Got a couple flashes of lightning. And the lightning came from this band that's causing the sleet. And the sleet isn't like causing any of the... In fact, the sleet is actually slightly adding to the accumulation because it's so cold out that the sleet is just landing on the snow here. Plus, we're still getting light snow from the mist. Visibilities are about 3/4 to about a mile. Temperatures in the warm tongue are probably in the mid-30s. And once that warm tongue leaves, once it dissipates, as the low intensifies, everything's going to go back to snow. And the National Weather Service did say some sleet could mix in. Oh. Hey, Sunzai. So right now I'm getting sleet, moderate sleet with light snow from the lower levels. See, right now? See how there's a lot of, see how there's snow coming down? This fine misty snow? But it's coming down with sleet from aloft, from that warm tongue. But the snow that's coming down is causing the visibilities to go down a little bit. So it still looks kind of hazy and foggy outside. But you can see there are no clouds. Yes. Oh, yes, I remember that. That was during a severe thunderstorm. Oh, my God. Ow, it's like hail. Okay. I'm going to be going inside now because it's getting really bad. Yeah. Jesus. Oh, fudge. Yeah, it's like hail coming down. This sleet is very, very big. Oh my God. This sleet is huge. Oh my God. No, it's not raining. It's like raining salt. That's how big it is. Basically like hail. Look how big some of this stuff is. It's like pea-sized. Jeez. We're actually getting small hail. This may not even just be sleet. We actually might be getting some small hail. Considering there was some lightning. I mean, this is sleet, but... Jeez, we're actually getting small hail. Or this is just very heavy sleet coming down. That's what it really is. It's just really heavy sleet. This isn't like small, like tiny sleet particles. I mean, this is big sleet. I mean, this is what sleet is like in very like heavy precip. And usually in convective precip, you might get sleet particles this big. Yeah, that fog that you're seeing isn't fog. That's actually snow. It's foggy where I am too because of the snow. So you're getting sleet. Okay, so think of the atmosphere as several layers right now. Usually the troposphere where we are is one layer, right? But the thing is, we're having an area of warm air at about 10,000 feet, which is causing the snow that falls through that to turn into rain, and it's heavy rain at that. And that heavy rain is turning back into sleet, which you can see here. But that fog you're seeing is in this thick cold layer below that warm layer that is causing more snow to form. But once you lose that, once that raindrop turns back into sleet, it's not turning into snow. The snow is forming in the shallow, in the cold layer from the low clouds. The sleet is from the high cloud. And it's ice. It's frozen rain, that's all it is. It's frozen rain. Who knew sleet can be so fun? Especially when it's so crazy. Yeah, I'm getting like almost pea-sized sleet. I'm getting heavy sleet, large sleet pellets, like almost like small hail. This is not hail, but this is very heavy sleet. And there was even some lightning with it too. This is incredible. Okay, this is not... Jeez. So we're still getting this mixture of sleet and snow. And we're getting very heavy sleet coming down. It's really, really extreme right now. Let me see if there's any melting. Nope, in fact, it's all frozen still. And we're still getting a mixture of snow and sleet. And in this embedded sleet, I just see some bigger snowflakes, like chunks, which is indicative that this heavy precip is trying to cool down that worm tongue. It's trying to shrink it. I mean, if the precip got heavy enough, yeah, you probably would kind of close off that worm tongue, but it's not enough, and there's too much worm. Or, you know what, I'm not going to stop streaming. I'm just going to go, like, into the, away from the wind, where everything is just coming down straight. Yeah, so we're getting, as you can see, sleet with, like, granules of snow coming down. Misty snow with decreased visibilities. He did the right thing, because if all these people who didn't pick up their wipers might actually have a solid chunk of ice in the morning if any rain does mix in. Because there's still a chance that the low could try to ride up the Jersey Shore and bring a lot more warm air. And it's still going to be cold at the surface, which means we might get freezing rain. But so far, you see we're getting some of the floating snow. Let me just get off the... You see here, right here. Whoa. You see how there's still some snow floating around? Yeah, I'm going inside. Thank you all for watching. Bye.